Welcome to the Pinfall. I'm your host, Danny Bell, and today we have a special guest for you. We have high school head coach for varsity wrestling, Jason Cook at Valpo High School. He's a long-timer and an alumni of Valpo High School. Jason was a 141-pound wrestler at Purdue University. Really good stud there, where he had a few good matches, and a lot of his teammates are still coaching around the area. He had a 168 and 13 record. One of them's a default, but we won't mention that. He's got a senior record as a high school wrestler of 48 and 0, and you know how hard it is to keep a goose egg because that's a target on your back. He was in his 16th year now of coaching, 8 years at Chesterton High School as an assistant coach, and then he moved on to head coaching at Fishers and coaching at Hobart, and he also was at Wheeler, and now he's home at Valpo. And Coach, how does it feel to be at home?
My kind of default answer is it feels a little surreal. Back at Valpo, I still feel like my mom and dad should be head coach here when I'm here. So I got a little kid, little brother syndrome at times with my sister, my mom, and my dad's success plastered all over the walls, and just trying to make a name for myself, and like always, just doing what they've taught me to do.
Well, you've had a really good example with your mom and dad and your sister as well, and I think the IHSA knew that when they gave you the Mental Attitude Award. Having the Mental Attitude Award as a high school wrestler, not only is it hard to keep a high GPA and to wrestle at a high level, but to be acknowledged for it by the entire state, that's a pretty big achievement. And, that's a testament again to your family and the core values that you guys have. And, what's it like to have that kind of push and support from your family to get you to where you are? Because you're a great coach.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I just try to have the long term in mind all the time. My mom and dad were amazing at just showing me examples of that. My sister did everything I wanted to do as an athlete. Then she started coaching with my mom and showed me how to do it again. The mental attitude award, that's an awesome award. I'm really proud of it. It's kind of humbling just to see my name written on that. It's a lot to live up to, but looking at other wrestlers that have won that, we had a Maldonado win that not too long ago. We've had some really great kids, and it's definitely something I'm really proud of. It's definitely, it's hard to brag about the mental attitude award, though. It's not like the a good underhook and a power half. The crowd
Yeah,
doesn't
well,
cheer
the
it on
mental
as much.
attitude speaks for itself.
Yeah,
Like people, when they see that, they don't have to question it. They understand mental attitude. That's saying something.
yeah. But definitely want to I want to thank my mom and my dad for that, because it's doing the things that don't get cheered for. And as a coach, that's the thing I try to cheer for a little bit more, because everybody's screaming and raging when you pin somebody. But we also got to cheer on good grades and doing the right things off the mats.
Well, your mother Lori and your father John, you got a legacy there as well as your sister, and it's pretty cool to see you back at that same your alumni there, and you're at your alma mater, and coaching in that situation and knowing, like you said, seeing all your family member all throughout the halls. You're next, and everybody kind of knew that maybe it'd be a good idea down the road eventually. That's where you deserve to be, because that's really home for you. You're everywhere there as well when you're talking about a few pitchers, and you're not one of those guys that's going to bring up yourself. You never really were. But the legacy that you guys have as a Cook family in Valparaiso, that name is synonymous with Valparaiso, and not just in one sport, in multiple sports.
Yeah.
And not at just a regular level, at a high level. And what's that like to follow in your father's footsteps and be the head coach of the team that you won a state championship for?
I mean, it's humbling. It's humbling for sure, because I could go on the greatest run of all time in wrestling, and I still wouldn't be anywhere close to what my mom's done in gymnastics. Like I could rattle off 12 straight titles, and nobody's even come close to that. Um, but she could still say, well, I had one more than that. I always tell people I want to be, 1/13th, 1/15th of my mom would be a dream come true for me. And my dad had a ton of success. I'm trying to kind of recreate some of the stat record books of, the, I guess it's been 22 years since my dad was the coach here. And looking at that and I'm like, man, this guy was good. This guy, I knew he was good, but then you look at the numbers and I'm like, this is awesome. I remember Valpo wrestling more as a set of stories and a set of values that my dad kind of raised me with. But you can look at the numbers too, and there's a lot of success there. And if I had to give one word, it'd just be humbling. But it's a lot of fun being back here. I don't know if you can hear the whistles. There's a JV basketball tournament going on, and that's not usually my crowd. But there's a lot of the Knopf family was here walking in, giving me a high five after practice, and a lot of awesome Valpo people that kind of always been around in my life, but now I get to see a little bit more and have the support of the community, and it means a lot. Sometimes I hope I haven't taken it for granted, but it's just definitely a lot easier to be appreciative and grateful for all those kind of people that have been around my whole life, especially
Well,
when I
I
was.
think that they all appreciate having you there as well. It's, probably a comfort to them to hear Coach Cook again in those halls. And, you've assembled a really good coaching staff. Alex Boatwright's always been with you, and he's such a great coach at all levels. Not even just that, a great guy. Jake had you and him as a coach at Hobart, and he could not say nothing but great things about Coach Boatwright. But you've always also picked up Coach Mark Line. He's a really good coach as well, and you got Lori Spiewak, and you've got Dennis Saramore and DJ
Yeah,
and Madison Sims, but you also picked up a couple younger guys in Noah Hollandoner, and you got Sean McMurray and Justin Sawyer, one of your old wrestlers.
yeah, yeah.
You've put together a pretty good coaching staff there. What's that like?
Yeah, some of it kind of comes full circle, and then some of it is I like having people around me that have kind of gotten the best of me. So I want people who can outsmart people, and obviously do things the right way. So I love having all those guys, just all of them. It's been great, but just a little bit of it. I feel like I'm a pretty good coach. I don't think I'd be as good of a coach without Alex Boatwright around me. Even when I was coaching against him when he was still at Chesterton, my first few years at Hobart, we were talking wrestling all the time. My dad, I don't want to put myself at this level of the conversation, but my dad's like made comparisons of that when he was still at Chesterton, the way he talked to Tom Cameron when they were huge rivals, but best friends. That's what Alex and I were doing. We just couldn't talk about certain weight classes because we were, the Shamert DeMarco year. We couldn't talk 113. We talked the
Yeah.
other ones. But yeah, Alex is huge. And anything I've done decently, it would have been horrible without him. And anything I've done well, it would have been decent without him. I owe a lot to him. Um, Having McMurray in the room yesterday and today, he's got his union job. He's a union rep and doing a lot of awesome region blue collar stuff the right way. And then comes into the room and just kind of clears house, basically like somebody coming in the Royal Rumble and eliminating 9 guys. That's kind of what it feels like. Um, you know, I love having that. Reminds me of when I was coaching against him, and I think I had the most chances against Sean McMurray as a coach to beat him without beating him. Uh, we had 7 in a row with him and Anthony Kiros going at it. My first year at Chesterton. So it's just awesome having him. I don't want to tell the story too publicly, but Mark Line putting together a game plan against me when I was a sophomore in high school, and and beating me and ended my season. I'm like, that's about a third of my brain that is only thinking about that for the first moment I see him, and the other part of my brain enjoys that because it's he has the ability to do that. And I love it. And then we have got Justin Sawyer getting into coaching. Um, you know, I coached him. I was his. I think it was U.S. history. It was the COVID year. It's hard to remember, but I think him and
All blur to all of
we're
us.
in the same class actually. As I got thrown into U.S. history, so he's been my student and my wrestler, and now he's coaching with me. A lot like Alex Boatwright, him getting started. He was in my sophomore English class, and there's just a lot of connections like that that really make me happy. I want to make this program, top level. But to do that, I think the priority is also making the environment top level, and having the people I mentioned, and then having Lori and Noah. That's actually, mother son combo on our coaching staff as well, and they're doing a ton. Lori's daughter Jess is wrestling on the team and having some success. She's had some injuries, but she's super tough and dealing with them the right way. And just that environment to me is, I want to say step one, but it's really like step 1 through 70. And then, it leads to the next ones that are, the ones that you get to see on Wednesdays and Saturdays a little bit more.
Right. Speaking of a few of the girls on the team, you got a couple that you're loading up, and you got some in the middle school as well that are coming up. How's the girls team?
Yeah. So we were setting some goals. We wanted to win sectionals, but now we're in a different sectional, so it's a little hard to. We got a little curveball mid-season. But obviously being in the DAC, that's one of the best measuring sticks you can have. With Jake's team, my team at Hobart, we're doing everything we can. We are beg, barring, and stealing to get DAC teams into our Super Duel, and we're trying to measure ourselves against the DAC. Now I'm back in it, which is awesome. And the girls team was able to finish 5-2 with those DAC duels. Lost to Maryville and Crown Point, who have awesome teams with some really top-notch studs on those teams. And we had we had a lot of fun at those. I love dual meets. I listened to you commentating duels. Obviously, the Carnahan was a lot of fun, but
Yeah.
I think you spent half the time complaining about how long the day was, didn't you? Getting a little old.
After 4:30, so it was only 4 hours of me complaining, but definitely was a long day.
I got to come at you a little bit, but the dual meets are just, it's get in there, action packed. Even if it's not the greatest match of all time, you can just look at the scoreboard and see exactly what the impact is, and everybody can, refocus and be ready to go. And especially for girls wrestling right now, it's growing. I don't want to say it's not growing, but like it's grown now. Like we're where we've needed to be. Every benchmark for the IHSAA, we've exceeded by a whole lot. I think I don't want to take anything away from boys volleyball, but I feel like we kind of put them on our shoulders and ran them into the IHSAA because we're doing things tremendously with girls wrestling, just across the state. And it's been, a really awesome experience. Our girls were 5-2. It's not all about wins and losses, but just putting together a good dual meet team is what makes wrestling awesome. Like that's what it is. And we've had 17 girls wrestling this year, and we've bounced some people around in weight classes, things like that. And if you just asked 3 years ago, it's like, hey, would you have to win a coin toss to feel more comfortable about this dual meet for a girls wrestling meet? Probably most people would be like, what are you talking about? And when we wrestled Portage and Chesterton, I'm like, all right, come on, we want odds, and we got them, and then we got to be able to bump the lineup around, and the we won those duels by a bunch, but it very easily could have swung drastically the other way because of the team environment and the competition that you have. And each girl on our team was able to score some team points that day. So I couldn't be happier about that for girls wrestling. It's been super exciting.
Nice. Well, I'm sure you have some a nice collection starting of green ties that you're going to be using for the state series. I'm sure maybe your dad might let you use one of his lucky green ones that he used to win a few things. He's a stud anyway in his own right. He's always a blessing to pick his brain. But what are your team goals this year?
Our team goals, well, our girls achieved it. We were hoping to get third in the conference. We'd like to win sectionals. Like we said, it's changed a little bit, so we've got a lot of things that we've got to kind of rework. But they're on to pretty much the individual side of the season with our regular season down. Our guys, we were hoping to be in the top half of the DAC. It's a little struggle because we've dropped a couple, haven't had the best luck with some things, but that's part of the game. We got to work through it, but we're improving. We've got a lot of guys that are doing the right things that are making practices a lot of fun, and we've got to just build on that because we need to make that team culture consistent from guy 1 to guy 50 basically. And we don't quite have that figured out completely right now, but that's why coaches are on the grind too, and I'm excited about making it happen because I know we've got a lot of potential. We've got a lot of the guys and the girls on the team are where they are at, but that next little step it might seem far away, but it's only about 2 or 3 positions away is how I look at it.
Well, I watched you step into the Hobart role, and my son was lucky enough to have you his freshman and senior year. And I watched you step into a role where Hobart is a perennial wrestling team in the area, and in the state as well. They got a history. And when a coach takes over, sometimes it's hard to adjust, and the format doesn't work right, and the success just isn't there. That wasn't a problem that you had going into the season. You stepped right into it and had state qualifiers every single year. Us in the area, you taking over Valpo, we don't see anything different coming out of that school as well. With your heart, it's not, people don't realize your heart and your passion. You tie your entire life into wrestling, and that way you can still touch all bases. And a lot of coaches can take from that when they watch you do that. You're an eccentric wrestler. You have a high IQ for wrestling and a high IQ as well. So you match those, and you try to elevate everybody around you as a coach, which is a testament of your assistant coaches that you have. And that's stuff that you mentioned earlier, with the legacy of the Cook family. And we don't expect anything other than great things from you down the road. We appreciate the fact that you're going to take time for us to at least give us an opportunity to give an interview, because we're catching you in the beginning of your career here.
Well, I mean, I got to catch you a little bit, Danny, because my first year at Hobart, we didn't have a state qualifier, and I'm glad you forgot. That's good. But now I'm bringing it up. I'm trying to have integrity. I tell my kids all the time, integrity is the end goal of the whole system we're doing here.
Conveniently
but I
forgot.
feel like I might get punched by somebody saying that too. So
This is
I'm
a
hoping.
sport.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping we don't have to worry about that this year at Valpo. But we've got some team goals that we're probably not going to reach. But at the same time, you set goals not because you reach every single one of them. You should probably be about 60-40 on those, I would think, because they're stretching you out. They're trying to make you better. If we achieved all of them, then we'd be underachieving our talent or our potential. But just to bring it back to what you were saying, what I was saying earlier, coaching Jake Simpson was a delight. It was amazing. He's if he's not my favorite kid I've coached, he's in the top 2, tied for first, I guess. And I've got high expectations on a lot of things. Like, I want people to do things the right way, and make make wrestling better for themselves, but also make wrestling better for the next year, the next teammate, the next team, 10, 20 years from now. Um, and, I want everybody on the team to do that. So, making sure those things happen is, priority number one for me. It's what I want the kids to do, but I understand they're kids. But it's definitely what I think every coach and every adult in the sport should be doing all the time. Just making sure wrestling's going to be better in 5 years than it is right now.
Well, we're sure you're going to do that, and we appreciate you taking the time to come out and have an interview with us. And we're going to see you a lot more here in the future. We'll have I'm sure we have a commentary coming up here with you guys. And we appreciate you again coming on. And thanks for joining us here at the Pinfall today with Jason Cook for our interview. And like in life, on the mat, it's all about how you bounce back. I'm Danny Bell, and that's our episode this week for the Pinfall. Join us next week.
When life keeps you busy and you can't get to the store, shop online with Strack & Van Til To Go. Our to-go service is easy to use. Register using your rewards account information, fill your virtual cart, and choose delivery or pickup. Once your order is in, our own Strack & Van Til team preps your order with care. With our to-go service, you can earn reward points and save time and money with our online coupons and weekly ad prices. Life made simple, shopping made easy. For more information or to sign up, visit shop.strackandvantil.com.
Hi, I'm Crowd Company's Lantern Man. For years, I've helped your family and friends save on their car insurance. And now I've returned to rescue you from high prices. Whether you have a perfect driving record or a not-so-perfect record. Follow me to the Crowd Agency for immediate and affordable coverage. I'm your insurance superhero. Crowd Company's insurance professionals. Highland, Merrillville, and Michigan City.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
With electrical services from Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, you can radiate the perfect amount of light and energy into your home. From rewiring and code upgrades to ceiling fans, lighting, security, and more, Economy Electric Heating and Cooling's trained electricians will make sure you can enjoy your home on full power all the time. For a free estimate on electrical work, call Economy Electric Heating and Cooling at 219-923-4441, and you can visit them on the web at forajobdoneright.com. That's the number 4ajobdoneright.com.
First home, dream home, forever home. Tech Credit Union has the right home loan for you. Their loan officers could help you purchase a home, refinance your current mortgage, or unlock your home's equity to get cash out for any purpose. Let Tech Credit Union show you why they are the better option for a home loan. Learn more at www.techcu.org or call 800-276-8324. Tech Credit Union is an equal housing lender and federally insured by the NCUA.
Four Seasons Mechanical proudly serves Northwest Indiana, providing quality, reasonably priced, reliable service. With a quality and comfort guarantee, the professionals at Four Seasons Mechanical offer a wide range of services in heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Whether it's residential or commercial, Four Seasons Mechanical is there 24/7. To find out more, the website is fourseasonsmechanical.com or give them a call at 219-756-7020. Four Seasons Mechanical, your indoor air quality specialists.
Earn while you learn from the best hands in the business. The Bricklayers Allied Craft Workers for Indiana, Kentucky Apprenticeship. That's right, this is a paid apprenticeship.
I'm getting an education while learning a trade and getting paid for it.
The thing that surprised me the most about this apprenticeship program is the respect I have received after the proper time and training.
Classes start soon, so apply now. There are training centers throughout Indiana and Kentucky. We are the Bricklayers and Allied Craft Workers for Indiana, Kentucky Apprenticeship. The best hands in the business.
Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso is a leader in athletics apparel and equipment sales. With in-house production including screen printing, trophies, embroidery, and more, Blythe's can help you to create the perfect look. For more information, visit them online at teamblythes.com. Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso, where the athletes shop.